fans and experts. You get them all right here on Pigskin Preview, powered by State Farm agents Kevin Malloy and John Wright.
And good evening, everyone. Welcome to the round two edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports. EDGYTIM here, along with the sneaky coach, Joe Rodriguero, and even sneakier, Evan Bredesen. So again, we are back. Glad to have you aboard. We are here for the next 2 hours. We are going to talk IHSA football, playoff football, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
Joe.
Yep.
This edition and every edition of Pigskin Preview brought to you by State Farm agents Kevin Malloy in New Lenox and John Wright in Joliet. Like a good neighbor, Joe.
State Farm is there.
Our broadcast schedule is as follows. It is varied and has a lot of high school football in it. So it's a good thing. Friday, 6:05, Friday Night Lights. Evan Bredesen back once again. Friday nights, do we call you the well-fed Evan Bredesen, possibly? I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Friday Night Lights, 6:05, followed by a 6:30 kickoff. Well, literally the only game in town Friday. Manuka on the road at Lincoln Way East. That is a 6:30 kickoff. I believe it is Nick Jacobs and Coach Handsome Joe on the call. So there you go. Joe making another appearance in Lincoln Way, and
I'll be parking on the west side of the school.
should be a very, very good ball game tomorrow night out at Lincoln Way East. And then Saturday, a 1:00 kickoff from Joliet Memorial Stadium, Busey Bank Field, Joliet Catholic. And Joe, thank God they don't have to drive a bus to get there.
Oh, God.
Joliet Catholic hosting Troy Triad. Triad. We'll go try Troy Triad. That is a 1:00 kickoff. And again, we're anytime Joliet Catholic gets a home game, I think we're all grateful, Joe.
Yes. Especially the way 80 is.
Yeah, we'll get into transportation issues in a little bit here.
Yes.
The Week 11 WJOL EDGYTIM.com Big Five poll is as follows.
Lincoln Way West is number 5. Joliet Catholic is 4. Lincoln Way Central is 3. Morris is number 2. And Lincoln Way East is number 1.
That is the Week 11 WJOL EDGYTIM.com Big Five poll. You can hear a revised poll every Monday morning with Scott Slocum in the morning. So you can always tune in and get the latest in the morning. So, all right, Joe,
Hold on.
Yes, sir.
Hold on. For the people out there.
The people.
Our people out there. I'm not going to say when Edgy's birthday is, but it's before
It's Monday.
Our next show.
It's Monday.
As a coach, I'm always early. So I brought my lovely bride to Portillo's for lunch today.
Oh, man.
And I got Edgy his favorite cake.
Yay! The best chocolate cake in the entire world.
And I want him.
I'm not going to eat it now.
No, I want him to open up his cup.
Oh, no, Joe. You didn't get like one of those exploding things or something, did you?
No, I didn't.
Thank you, sir.
And Evan, here's yours.
See, Evan's just along for the ride. That's cool.
My two best friends. I got to take care of my boys here. I got to take care of my boys.
Right. It's a good start.
It is.
A good start. I know you picked this card out especially for me. So we'll show it to everybody.
Oh, I love that. As soon as I saw that card, I said, I got to get it.
There you go. Yep. And then says it was carefully picked. Happy birthday, Coach Joe and Deb. And yes, it was specifically picked.
It was
for moi. So
I saw that. I said, I got to get
Thank you both very much.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, it's Monday. So thank you.
Yep.
Looking forward to completely ignoring my birthday and working all day Monday. So that's how I usually celebrate my birthday. Yep. So again, thank you. Phone lines are open, 815-254-7300. Pretty good lineup of guests, pretty full. Who's that first name? Cap? Yeah. All right, Cap from Joliet. Let's go out to the phone lines. Cap joins us. Hello, Cap.
Hey, how you guys doing today?
Doing fine, sir. What's on your mind? How can we help you?
Hey, man, I just want to talk about the Manuka game versus East, man. I'm kind of aware on Manuka's side, man. I know Lincoln Way East powerhouse, and I want to hear what your thoughts about the games.
Yeah, for sure. Glad to do it. And Cap, thanks for calling. Great to hear from you. Joe?
Again, what Manuka Cap cannot do tomorrow night is turn the ball over and make mistakes.
Yep.
They cannot do that. Lincoln Way East is the type of team that takes advantage of every single mistake the other team makes. If they want to stay in the ball game, they cannot do that.
Well, first of all, you know that I am banned from the game.
Well,
I'm not allowed anywhere near Manuka football this year. So
I think
and Lincoln Way East wants to pick me up from home and drive me over. So it's a very, very, very polarizing game for me. Joe, Manuka's got to be able to score points. That's what it comes down to.
Yes.
Offensively, it seems like for more often than not, it's been a struggle this year. We know the one thing that Lincoln Way East does, and Joe, they do very well. And what is that?
Play defense.
Play great defense.
And take away what you do best.
100%. So you're going to have to find a way to beat that defense and to beat it consistently. I hope Manuka can. I live in the Manuka district. I sent my kids to that high school, and yay, Manuka. But I don't have a great feel about it, Joe.
And again, just to give some kudos to the Manuka defense, I've seen them 3 times. They're very good defensively.
Yep.
They've got a great defensive line. So it's going to be a great game on the line of scrimmage all the way around tomorrow night.
No doubt. Again, there's not a whole lot of games across the state, so that will get plenty of attention tomorrow night for sure. But Cab, I hope that kind of does it for you. 815-254-7300, welcoming your phone calls. And of course, Joe.
Yes, sir.
It's now an official show because Bob is joining us on the phones. Hello, Bob.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Well, you're back home. Were your transportation issues okay on Friday?
We got there all right.
Okay. From what I heard, you almost probably could end up bringing some players.
Yeah, they could have gotten your van, Bob, I think.
Yeah.
You want me to tell the story?
Tell the story, Joe.
All right. Joliet Catholic was supposed to have 2 coach buses, and I think it comes from up north like Bensonville or someplace. And they were supposed to leave. Hopefully I got all this straight now because Josh told me I was just laughing the whole time. He wasn't, of course, but so the buses were supposed to pick them up at 2:30 at Joliet Catholic because they didn't have school, or 2:15, let's say. Well, the bus service called about 1:30 and said, the bus broke down on 55. The transmission went out. We're trying to get you another bus. Well, Dave Douglas is on the phone with the guy. He says, well, what about the other bus? The guy goes, what other bus? There's only 1 bus ordered. And Dave goes, no, they're not. There was 2 buses ordered. And the guy was apologizing right and left. So they don't have any buses to go down to Peoria. So what they did was they called the guy that's in charge of the buses for Joliet Catholic. Jesse's the guy's name, real good guy. They finally got a hold of him, but he could not get a bus to Joliet Catholic until about 3:30, 3:45. The topper of the whole thing was the one bus didn't have a governor on it, so he could go 70 miles an hour. The new bus had a governor on it.
Not Pritzker, but
not the governor.
Because they wouldn't go that fast. I'm kidding.
I don't think so. But the other bus only could do 60 miles an hour. The one bus got to Peoria High School at 10 to 7.
Wow.
And the coach was very understanding. I mean, he was very understanding. But, yeah, I mean, when I heard that Friday night, Bob, I go, boy, bus transportation problems for Joliet Catholic, shocking. But that it seems like it always works. It always happens at Joliet Catholic. But it was terrible.
Yeah, we followed them in that night. They were right in front of us, the 2 yellow buses.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Big win on the road. Oh, tell me, Bob, your experience with Peoria Stadium. Nice?
Oh, yeah, it must have sat about 15,000 people. They were, must have been at a college stadium or something, or a private, park district stadium.
It's a City of Joliet City of Peoria facility. Yes. Been playing games there for years. Bob, now I don't know about you, but the first time I saw it, you know what it reminded me of? Like a horse racetrack.
Yes.
Yeah. No way.
Because it has that facade and it's unbelievable. And I just saw the video from there, Joe. Just the lighting alone was spectacular. Yep. So
they're flashing red and white lights.
Oh yeah, they have the digital lighting system where they change. So good for Peoria for sure. That town deserves a nice facility.
The only thing that's bad about the whole thing, they took their team into the locker room when they played the national anthem.
Yeah, well,
that was a bummer.
No, I know.
that happens.
It happens. Yeah, we hear about it from time to time as well. There's not a whole lot you can do about it, my friend.
So
But,
how much we got to fear this team?
I'm sorry?
How much do we have to fear this other team we're going to play Saturday?
Joe, I know you've watched Triad a little bit.
Yes, they've got some very skilled position players. Their quarterback is very good. He reminds me a lot of the St. Ignatius quarterback, Bob, but a little bit smaller. You got to kind of keep him in the pocket. They have a decent running back, nowhere near as big as the guy Joliet Catholic faced from Ignatius. But
so he's not 6'6" and 290?
No, not quite. But they have some capable receivers too on the outside, and they'll run a spread formation and they'll try to, mess you up a little bit defensively.
Yeah. But otherwise, we should be able to hold our own.
Yeah, I think you'll be okay, Bob.
I think we'll be all right.
All right.
All right, Bob.
All right.
Thanks. And again, that game is 1:00 kickoff on Saturday. You can hear that game right here on 1340 WJOL. Out to Greg. Hello, Greg.
Guys, how we doing?
We're doing good. How are you?
Oh, yeah. I'm ready for the weekend.
Well, I tell you what, don't go anywhere because we are going to have Luke Lokanc on at 6:45. We'll talk about their game going down the lovely Collinsville. Joe, it'll probably be 85 degrees in Collinsville Saturday.
Well, maybe 65 or something.
Maybe,
maybe
65. And then don't go anywhere. 7:25, Dennis Piron from Batavia. So we will get the inside scoop on the Bulldogs, the team that obviously Lincoln Way Central will play tomorrow evening. Or not tomorrow evening, Saturday. I'm sorry.
Yeah, those are the games I kind of like to talk about a little bit.
Fire away.
West, they got to win that game. They can lose to a 4-loss team. I don't see that happening. I know it's a long ride down there, and it's tough to play, but I got a good feeling about them going down there. I think they're going to win that game.
I might have the most confidence in them out of almost any other team, Joe.
Yeah.
Played in round 2. Yeah. I think they have a real good chance.
Yeah, definitely. And the other game, the one at Batavia, for our guys from Lincoln Way Central, I still don't understand that draw they got. They're a 1-loss team. The only game they lost was in overtime, and they get these guys in the second round.
Yeah. No, I know.
Up there.
I know. There's some really unbelievable second round matchups, and that's one for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. I saw them last week when they played Jacobs, and the weather was terrible, and nobody could pass the ball in the first half.
Yep.
I think Central tried 3 times, but it was very difficult. And I think they got a kicker, I'll tell you, that I think could make a difference if they can hang in this game. This kid was booming punts, and the kickoffs were in the end zone mostly, and he got a couple field goals for him too. So I think if they could hang around and stay in the game, maybe he could make a kick here or there and put Central over the top.
Yeah,
that's my hope.
Yeah, Greg, Joe, and I think time of possession is going to be everything, and we've talked about it. You can't turn the ball over against Batavia. And another thing to take into account, that is a raucous home field advantage for Batavia. That entire town turns out for that team.
Yep.
And we'll get into it. We'll talk about it with Dennis Piron. So
right.
Should be a great game.
East. And then I like East. I think they're going to be fired up tomorrow night. I never seen Manuka play, but I'm going to that game, so I'm kind of interested in seeing them. But I think East is they're gonna have their foot on the gas tomorrow night.
Yeah, I like East chances, Joe, tomorrow.
Yeah, so do I.
So we'll see. All right, Greg. Well, thanks for calling, friend. Good to hear from you.
Okay, guys, have fun.
All right.
Greg, thank you.
All right, now Evan's telling me we have a special guest on the phone.
Uh-oh.
Hello, special guest.
Well, we hear that it's somebody's 39th birthday. Is that true?
Again?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Edgy. Happy birthday to you.
Yay!
Yes.
Joe, you want to tell everyone who our special guest was?
That is my grandson, Kane from Indiana.
It's my guy, Kane, right there.
Yeah, I mean that's Edgy's boy.
Yeah,
Kane.
that's my guy. Woody's your guy, and Kane is my guy. So
for sure.
Thank you, Kane.
You're welcome.
All right, buddy. Be
All
good,
right.
okay?
Take care, buddy.
Not real good, just good enough,
Good
okay?
luck in your flag football game this
Yeah.
weekend.
All right, good luck in your game.
All right, guys. Take care.
All right, Zach. Thanks, bud.
Bye.
All right. We certainly appreciate that. Evan? Oh, we're good. Okay. I was like, okay, now what? All right. We're going to step aside and take a break. When we come back, we'll go out to the phone lines. Joe?
Yep.
There's a big game over in Piatone tomorrow
Yes,
night,
there
and we
is.
will get into that. We will be joined by Coach Tully from Piatone. You are listening to the Round 2 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News, Talk, Sports.
Will County Seniors, a nonprofit organization serving senior citizens and their families, has provided resources and programming to senior citizens in the county since 1966. Through a variety of activities and support services, Will County Seniors helps adults over 55 maintain their independent, active lifestyle. As our community has grown over the decades, so have our services to the families of seniors. The next phase of Will County Seniors will be the opening of the Ovation Center in Romeoville. The over 100,000 square foot Ovation Center will serve as a gathering place for seniors and a place where seniors and their families can go for valuable services. Leasing offices within the Ovation Center provide an ideal opportunity for businesses or service organizations that work with seniors and their families, such as medical offices or massage therapy, or professional services including legal, financial, and insurance services. For more information about leasing space for your growing business in the Ovation Center, visit theovationcenter.org. That's theovationcenter.org.
This statement has not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
When it comes to my lifestyle and diet, I don't always make the smartest choices.
Touchdown! Woo! Hey, how about another round and some more chips?
But when it comes to taking care of my liver, I do make one very smart choice. Active liver tablets from New Nordic. I used to have real issues with my liver, and at my last checkup, my doc was concerned about my numbers. But since adding a once-a-day active liver tablet, my gut's better, I feel great, and my doctor's happy. I ask a lot of my liver, so the least I can do to say thanks is a daily dose of Active Liver.
Active Liver is one of many award-winning health products from New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Scandinavia. Purchase at Amazon.com or for a volume discount, visit newnordicusa.com. Available as a tablet or delicious sugar-free gummy. Protect and help your liver the easy and effective way with Active Liver at Amazon or newnordicusa.com.
Every other Thursday at 9:30 a.m. is Law Day on WJOL, brought to you by Rathbun, Cervinak, and Kozel, where you will hear legal information every family should know regarding estate planning, wills, trusts, and the ins and outs of legal issues in family courts. You'll hear what to do and what not to do, and tips to help you navigate the court system, all with the attorneys from Rathbun, Cervinak, and Kozel. This Thursday, 9:30, right here on WJOL, 1340, Will County's News, Talk, and Sports.
Exergen thermometers are proven to be more accurate than non-contact thermometers. With children back at school, keeping them healthy is important. Clinical studies have proven that non-contact thermometers are inaccurate and can miss fevers. Accuracy matters. That's why the Exergen thermometer is trusted and used by medical professionals. Exergen thermometers are available at Walgreens and other participating retailers. Choose a trusted and accurate thermometer for personal use. Learn more about why accuracy matters at Exergen.com.
High school football on 1340 WJOL.
And welcome back. It is the Round 2 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL. Will County's News, Talk, Sports. EDGYTIM along with the Coach Joe Rodegaro and Evan Bredesen spinning the dials. And Coach Joe, our fans want to know, they demanded, what time is the Piatone coach interview?
That's right.
And who are we to deny our fans, Joe?
Yes.
That's not
You're
us.
lighting the board up here.
Joining us, our good friend, Coach Tully from your Piatone Football Club. Coach, glad to have you back. Welcome aboard and welcome to Round 2.
Hey, thanks, guys. Edgy, happy early birthday.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Not gonna sing to you. I don't think I could top Joe.
That's quite all right. That's quite all right. Just your presence alone is a gift for both of us, Joe. I'll gladly share with you and our listeners.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
congratulations. You get through You get through your experience in the public league and you get out and you get a win and you get to come home and play a home game. So that's got to be fun. It's got to be exciting.
You know what? It really is. I was kind of taking it all in a little bit this week at practice. Where we practice, usually there's soccer going on, the youth football league, cross country, everything's going on all over the place. And it's been oddly quiet at practice this week. It's just us out there. And I got to tell you, it's really been a good time with the kids these last couple weeks. It really has been.
I got to imagine the snow just added to it.
That was, we actually stayed inside on Tuesday when the snow hit.
Okay.
We got the extra day with us playing Saturday. But,
True.
you know, yesterday when we were out there, I mean, we've had great weather all year, but it was a little brisk yesterday, but not one complaint from myself or anybody else on the team. It really is. It's an honor to be playing in the second round. And like I said, just been a good time being out there with the kids this week.
Tully, you know, your team, you have two backs over 1,000 yards. You know, you come out of the locker room or the bus, we're home or away, and you like to run the football. To try to be a little bit more balanced against this Byron team, I would say ball control is one of the main target points for you guys, and the offensive line being a tremendous key Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at their stats, it's eye-opening. You know, they're averaging 60 a game. They're only giving up 6 a game. We got 2,000-yard backs. Jay Rodriguez with 1,300. Chase Rivera is almost at 1,100. And honestly, as much as we love to run the football, we haven't had 2,000-yard backs on the same team since 2017. So that's props to those kids. But we've had some kids that have done some dirty work for them. You know, the offensive line, I mean, guys, when I tell you it's been interesting, I mean, we've had a freshman lineman playing fullback for us. We've had a running back who's had to play tight end for us. I mean, we've been moving pieces all over the place this year, but whenever we've had to have somebody step up and fill in a role for us, they've done a great job of it. But as far as Saturday versus Byron, yeah, if we have the football, they don't have it and they can't score if we got it. But early on in the year, we were able to kind of have that balance where we were able to throw the ball a little bit. We're going to have to find a way to get back to that a little bit on Saturday. But the bread and butter with us, especially these last 5 weeks with this 5-game winning streak we've been on, it's been Rivera, it's been Rodriguez, and we're coming at you and we're keeping the ball, and we've done a great job running that football. So it's helped all 3 phases of our game. But, yeah, we're going to have to find a way to move it in the air a little bit on Saturday as well, I think.
And then with Byron, Coach, you know what you're getting in them because you're pretty much getting the same thing you're going to try to do to them as well. I mean, obviously they want to run it right at you. Big physical. I saw some tape on them, and every year just Coach Boyer does just an amazing job with that program. Is it the physicality aspect? This is the hardest thing to match up against them. Kind of what concerns you about Byron?
I think there's a team that we play very similar to that every year that you guys know, the Wilmington Wildcats.
Yep.
And it's not just the physicality. I just think fundamentally they're so sound. Their steps with their linemen are sound. They don't put the football on the ground. Defensively, they're getting 11 hats to the football. It's one thing that we've really tried to preach to the kids about. If we want to get to that next level, yeah, we preach the physicality, but fundamentally being a fundamentally sound football team on both sides of the football. And, you know, I started kind of studying them a little bit back in 17 when we were in the playoffs there. And if you watch them on film, whether it's this year, last year, the year before, the teams look the same. I mean, there's not a lot of difference there. They do what they do, and they do it extremely well. And we've kind of tried to mirror that the last few years, and you know, we're getting there. I mean, we're making progress, but yeah, I mean, aside from the physicality, they're just fundamentally sound football, and those teams are usually the ones that are playing quarterfinals, semifinals, and in the state championships, and they got that going for them. Absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Fill us in on your city of Chicago experience in round one. Because I mean, let's face it, that's that's something that a lot of those kids will probably never even see that part of the city whatsoever. Where was the game? Was it? I'm trying to think. Was it Eckersall or Stag or
Newt Rockney Stadium?
Rockney. Okay.
Yeah.
So kind of a city stadium, and I know it looked like that they might have done some renovations there. It looked a little bit more, at least newer than what I remember.
Yeah, no, they're in the middle of renovations,
Okay.
and of course the locker rooms weren't done yet, so we had to kind of navigate that. But honestly, kind of a funny story. My first year teaching out of college, I taught in that area, in the Austin area, so
Okay.
I was pretty familiar with the area. But honestly, it was a good experience, guys. I mean, we got there, we did our thing. I had some good conversations with their coaches, and we went out there. We played 48 good minutes. We won the football game. And honestly, the experience was positive for us. I know sometimes some people talk about when they play CPS, it's not a great. And I'll tell you the thing about those kids, they played hard. They played hard. They got some great athletes there. They had some big old boys up front, but I was real happy with how our kids played the football game. And that was, Piatone history here. We've only won 5 games in the playoffs all time. I've been very fortunate to be a part of 3 of those teams. We've never gotten past the second round before, but that was a big deal for our kids. And honestly, guys, it was a big deal for me too. I was real happy for the kids, and because it's been an up and down year for it. It's been a tale of 2 seasons for us. The first half, we dealt with some tragedies. I think we talked about that on the pairing show. And we kind of had one of those team meetings where, guys, we're either going to figure this out together or we're going to crumble individually. And since then, we found a way to win 5 games in a row. And props to our kids. I mean, the kids are the ones that got to go out there and execute it. And they could have easily mailed it in after week 5, but they did the exact opposite of that. And it's been real fun to show up to practice and work every day with these guys all season, but especially obviously the last 5 weeks.
Coach, you mentioned Wilmington, and you've played there, and I'm sure some of these guys in this team has played there maybe once or twice. And the pregame ritual at Wilmington, and everybody knows about it and things like that to get the guys fired up. Have you told your guys about what Byron does to fire their crowd up?
Well, everybody's pretty knowledgeable about the hog trailer and whatnot.
Yeah.
But, they're actually coming to us for this
that's
game.
right.
So,
that's right.
Yeah, so that might get pulled over on the way to the game, Joe, and
Just
might get delayed. Might get delayed for about 3 hours of getting in the game. So
that'd be a
well,
good
we
thing.
we have talked. Like I said, I haven't sugarcoated to our kids what's coming to town and kind of what they've built there the last couple decades.
Mm-hmm.
But for our kids too, listen, whatever's going to happen Saturday. We only got 10 seniors on our team. Only about a handful of them start, and they've done a terrific job for us. But a lot of you guys are going to be back next year, and this team, this is kind of the standard in 3A football and what they do. And I've gotten a lot of phone calls and texts. I think it's just going to be packed at our stadium on Saturday. I think the atmosphere is going to be awesome. I think it's going to be a great experience for our kids. And listen, whatever happens, you got 2 choices. You could sit there and curl up in the corner and let these guys do what they do, or you come out swinging and you battle. And our best teams in the past, they've always come out swinging and battled, and whatever happens in the end happens. But you're in the second round of the playoffs. Enjoy it. Let's go out there and work our tails off, and whatever happens, happens. But enjoy this experience, because there's a lot of kids out there that would trade spots with you in a heartbeat right now.
Yep.
Oh, for sure.
Yep.
For sure.
There's no doubt. There's a lot of kids home right now, and just go out and give them everything you got, Coach. That's all. Yeah. What's the worst thing you could do? You win?
Well, hey, listen, that's the plan right now, and I know nobody's going to pick us to win this game, and I get it. But hey, like I said, let's go out there, let's have some fun. We're in the second round, and let's play some football.
Just go pick on that Susie guy. That's what works for me.
Right, Coach. You just have to play it.
I mean, listen, you're going to go out there for 48 minutes, and you get to dictate what happens out there. Like I said, and they're a great football team, and they deserve to be the number 1 team in 3A from the beginning till they are right now. But let's go out there, enjoy the experience, and listen, But like I said, second round of the playoffs, only fifth time our school's ever been there.
Yep.
Let's go enjoy it and let's learn something from it, regardless of what happens.
Got it, buddy. Hey, appreciate you joining us. Wishing you the best of luck on Saturday, okay?
Good luck.
Thanks, guys. It's always a pleasure talking to
You
you.
got it, Coach.
Take care,
All right,
buddy.
Coach Tully joining us from Piatone, and we appreciate him joining the show. And Joe, big game, no doubt about it.
It's like he said, they only have 10 seniors and maybe half of them actually play. So the experience that these kids are going to get, win, lose, or draw, is going to be beneficial for next year.
Yeah, no doubt.
You take baby steps sometimes as far as your team is concerned. Just like with TF North last week, they got into the playoffs. They lost to Sacred Heart Griffin. It's baby steps, but it's second round, and he's right. There's a lot of kids, like you said, Edge, are sitting at home watching these things where they wish they were on the field with them.
Well, and it's not like Byron's going to come out here and do something. They're not going to recreate the wheel.
No.
They're going to run something that Piatone's seen quite a bit this year. Now, at the level that they run it, we don't know.
Right.
We'll see. But again, you just show up and play. That's all.
Right.
So good luck to Piatone. Go get one this week, and hopefully we'll have Tully back on next week. That's the goal, to keep hassling these guys for as long as we can.
I think they will take us.
Yeah, that is always the goal for sure. Joe, let's go around the area. And again, there's what was it, 9 left, I think?
10.
So Manuka, Lincoln Way East, and again, we talked about it a little bit at the first part of the show. It's again, it's the big questions. I mean, certainly the biggest question I have is, can Manuka find a way to generate offense against a very good Lincoln Way East defense? And that, to me, that's the biggest question going into it, Coach.
Yes, I totally agree with that. You can't let, that team Lincoln Way East to get ahead of you by too many, for sure.
We will have Luke Lokanc joining us from Lincoln Way West at about 6:45. So we're going to save that one for him. Lincoln Way Central Batavia, again, remind you folks that 7:25, we will have Dennis Piron from Batavia. Terrific head coach, is taking that program, Joe, just to a whole other level since he's taken over. So we'll put a little scoopage on the Bulldogs and see what Lincoln Way Central's running into. Joe Morris, we will have Alan Thorson on at 7:05, but the Morris Football Club on the road at Sacred Heart Griffin. Again, a little different this year with Sacred Heart Griffin. Ken Leonard, longtime head coach, Hall of Fame head coach, retired after this year. So it's John Allison now, what is offensive coordinator, as the head coach. Kind of a different team, Joe. I'm not sure really what to expect from this Sacred Heart team.
Right. And again, they struggled. I mean, they lost their first game and they struggled a little bit. And I know they're 7-3. But it seems like I know they got beat by Rochester the last game, week 9.
Yep.
But it seems like they kind of hit their stride and stuff, and they're playing the best football they can right now.
So
again, and I know at Sacred Heart Griffin, they haven't lost too many games in that stadium, but they're going to have to play, in my opinion, almost a perfect game to beat Morris.
Triad makes Triad. Why do I keep saying that wrong?
Troy Triad.
Thank you. Troy Triad makes the trip, long haul up to Joliet Catholic on Saturday, 1:00 kickoff. I don't know, Joe. I know the last time Triad came up here, didn't go too well. It was a really bad matchup. Is that a possibility this time around? Is this a different team?
I think it's a little bit different team. They've got some skilled position players. They've got the quarterback, as I said to Bob before. They've got. He reminds me of the guy from St. Ignatius a little bit, except smaller. He's pretty fast, can throw the ball a little bit. I would say Joliet Catholic has got to keep him in the pocket because he's, I think, 5'10", and it's going to be difficult for him to see over the top of that defensive line of Joliet Catholic. And they do have a back 33 that runs the ball pretty well, and he'll go out on passes. They've got a couple guys. 88 is about 6'2", and they have another young man. I don't have his name right now, but can catch the ball too. So they've got some specialty guys. But when I watched the game against Metamora in the first half, and everybody had rain. In the first half, Metamora ran the Morris offense. Wilmington's offense. They couldn't stop them.
Yeah.
They could not. And they were going.
So we're going old school again, is what you're telling me.
They went old school, and they were going in for another touchdown. They fumbled the ball about the 5-yard line, so they turned the ball over there. So, Troy Trad can beat Joliet Catholic if Joliet Catholic penalties and turnovers and mistakes. But I just see Joliet Catholic winning by at least 3 touchdowns here.
Real quickly, Providence taking on Hillcrest. Again, nice short trip for Provi in the second round.
I know they in that conference. I don't know how tough that side of the conference was. Richards and Hillcrest are the only 2 teams left in that conference of the 2 sides, red and blue. Eisenhower too.
Still alive.
But I just don't, the physicality of Providence in the schedule they played, I just don't see any problem for Providence.
I saw Eisenhower last Friday. That was a heck of a game.
I saw the 2-point conversion.
Double overtime and very, very good game. I was impressed with Eisenhower. It's going to be interesting. They play Kankakee Saturday, and Kankakee's got a couple injuries, including their starting quarterback, and that score was a little low.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Last week, and I tell you what, one thing about Eisenhower, they've got some kids that are explosive. They could break off some big plays against Kankakee and make that one interesting.
Yeah,
so
could be.
We'll see, but we'll definitely see how that one shakes out. All right, we're gonna step aside, take a break. When we come back, out to the phone lines, and we will be joined by Luke Lokanc. We will break down Lincoln Way West as they hit the road. Joe, have they left yet? They're heading to Collinsville.
Hope they don't have any bus problems.
No, I hope not. I hope they're not using the same company Joliet Catholic did. All right, this is the round 2 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports.
Let's be honest, insurance rates have skyrocketed over the last 18 months and none of us are happy. This is State Farm agent Kevin Malloy, and I feel the same pain you do when the bill comes in the mail. When times are at their worst, people are looking for someone they can trust. And with 5 consecutive years of being named the best of Will County in the insurance category, why not consider calling the Malloy Agency? 815-463-5800. Like a good neighbor, we are and will be there when you need us.
Are you struggling to keep up with your kids, your finances, your insurance, your life? Then let State Farm agent Michelle Kerfin in Homer Glen help you simplify and get to a better state. Because with Michelle Kerfin handling your auto, home, and life insurance, you'll have more time to handle everything else and more money too. Because adding State Farm policy discounts that could add up to 40% and actually help you get ahead. Call State Farm agent Michelle Kerfin in Homer Glen and get to a better state with State Farm. Find Michelle online at insurewithmichelle.com.
Just because you think you're so pretty.
Hi, this is Kathy Carosa from the Polkas on Tour radio show. Join us every Sunday morning, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., right here on WJOL 1340 a.m. Will County's News Talk Sports.
Me to spend all my money. You're laughing, call Santa Claus. I'm telling you, baby, I'm through with you just because.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
My dad has a cold, but also has high blood pressure. That's why I got him Vicks DayQuil High Blood Pressure for max strength daytime relief. Unlike some ordinary cold medicines, it's specially formulated for people like my dad. DayQuil High Blood Pressure is sugar-free, alcohol-free, and decongestant-free.
Vicks DayQuil High Blood Pressure. The daytime, non-drowsy, coughing, aching, fever, sore throat, cold, and flu for people with high blood pressure.
Like my dad.
Medicine. Use as directed.
Are you the parent of a 2 to 7-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting free radio offer. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse, the Parents' Choice Award-winning online learning program that's actually changing the lives of early learners everywhere.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
Right now, we're offering a special radio promo to try it free for a month, but you have to go to abcmouse.com/radio to claim your free month. That's abcmouse.com/radio.
Sponsored by Age of Learning.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
High school football on 1340 WJOL.
Yes. On another station. And welcome back. It is the Round 2 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports. The show before the show, ladies and gentlemen, if you could only hear. You might be able to lip read us on YouTube Live. One of the many reasons besides our handsomeness to watch the show online. And again, appreciate everybody listening and again, for the well wishes, appreciate that for sure. And again, we're going to go out to the phone lines and get joined up with our friend Luke Lokanc, head coach of Lincoln Way West, who's probably has his bags all packed and probably getting ready to leave in about an hour or two to take that bus ride down to Collinsville. Hello, Coach.
Hey guys, hey Tim, hey Coach, how you doing?
We're doing well. So all kidding aside, have we got the logistics figured out for your game on Saturday at 3:00?
Yeah, everything's going well, and a lot of trips down there the last decade.
It's true.
In the playoffs, so we had a lot of things to lean on. Me and Dave, and we're getting all ready to go.
All right, double check on that bus, okay?
Yeah, you don't want problems Joliet Catholic had last week, Luke. That was a nightmare for them.
I didn't hear about that, but hopefully the athletic department has it all split away.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, well, there's always U-Haul, so get a big trailer, throw them all in there.
Or Enterprise. Yeah, or Enterprise.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be comfortable for 300 miles one way. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, about it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, fill us in. Talk to us a little bit about Collinsville. What are you going to run into? What do they do? Kind of give us an idea.
Very well coached team, very physical. It really pops out as you watch them on tape, and even at the beginning of the year when we were watching them against Belleville East before we were prepping for that game, so they played week 1. You can just tell how physical of a team they are on film. They have a talented young man at quarterback, runs the ball excellent, rolls out excellent. You can just tell on film he's one of those kids that will do anything to win, fighting for extra yards, and you can tell he's a team first type of kid. Defensively they are, big on the lines, and fast in the secondary, do a lot of movement. 8-9 guys in the box and man up on the edges, and can be a handful for sure.
Luke, I know, like you mentioned, Belleville East, and those were two common opponents of you and Collinsville. I would say offensively, you just keep the formula going that has got you to this point with Mr. Campagna running the football with Mr. Ebukar and just trying to keep them away from the football and maybe mixing a few passes with Mr. Heflish?
Oh, yeah. The formula at West hasn't changed for quite a few years, try to control the ball on offense and play sound fundamental defense. And over this year, our group has really grown into that, and that's kind of what you look for throughout the season, progressing, throughout and being able to control the ball in the game, control the clock, and having defense play fundamentally and make the stops when they need to stop. And hopefully we can keep that going.
Luke, who is a team that you guys have played this year that kind of mirrors them? If anybody?
Yeah, I would say I would compare them to either Lincoln Way Central or Bradley.
Okay.
Scheme wise, and skill wise, I imagine on both sides of the ball for sure.
Health wise. where you at?
Yeah, just like any high school team that's still playing right now, we've had our fair share. But what I love about this group and with our injuries that happened throughout the season, in multiple positions, the kids have really just stepped up and took it in stride and had that next up mentality, and the standards going to stay the same and keep playing. The lights are going to come out on Friday night no matter who's playing, and they have answered that bell for sure. But we're healthy. We're healthy, as healthy as anyone else is at this time of the year.
Agenda. What time you leaving?
We'll probably take off about 7:00, and we have a stop down in Litchfield, Illinois. Planned to get out and run around a little bit, get something to eat, and then we'll finish the last hour.
Yeah, it seems like it's the kind of the formula for most teams. You get maybe half, 2/3 of the way through, and then stop and kind of stretch the legs a little bit and get going.
Yeah, if you could stop and get the kids out, get them something to eat, and loosen the body, a little warm up, and just finish it out. And we'll probably get to the school about two hours before the game, and try to get into the best routine that we can, that we can get the kids ready to play. For sure.
And again, I mean, I know between you being at West and your other stops and involvement in other programs, I mean, I know there's schools that will do that trip, or they'll travel on Friday, stay overnight, and play Saturday. A lot of other schools, obviously, from a cost standpoint, easier said than done to pull that off. I mean, have you done either or both, or just one? And I got to imagine there's advantages and disadvantages. The disadvantage being staying overnight and being responsible for like 100 kids. Yeah, that's not real fun.
No.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, but we've always, and heck, we've made this trip. In 2015, we made it down to Troy Triad, and 2017 we went out down to Alton. One other year we went down to East St. Louis. So we feel comfortable with our routine, and we've been doing it here for a while, and we're just gonna roll with it and see if it works. Excellent.
Tomorrow, usual day. I mean, obviously you're gaining. I guess you're gaining a day this week. So I mean, is it a light practice? What do you end up doing tomorrow?
Yeah, with us playing on Friday and getting the extra day, it's really nice throughout the week for health purposes, and you get that extra day in the middle of the week, so you can kind of cut down your normal practice time, because you have the three work days in there, and you can save legs a little bit. So that's what we kind of did in the midweek. Then tomorrow's practice will be our normal Thursday practice, pre-game and a little bit of film and team dinner, and call it a night and get the kids to school about 6:30 next morning.
Luke, did they play last Friday night or Saturday?
They played Saturday afternoon up at Main West.
Main West, yeah.
So you guys probably got a chance to see them live, correct?
Yeah, it was good to get up there and see them live. Nice competitive game, both sides of the ball. It was an interesting game towards the end, and ended up winning 2015. Good program.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Luke. Well, again, good luck on Saturday. Safe travels, and hopefully we'll be talking to you next week.
Yes. Good luck, Luke.
Yes, for sure. Appreciate you guys.
All right. Thanks, Luke. Luke Lokanc joining us from Lincoln Way West Show. And I always find it interesting to get the thought behind the approach to going on a road trip like that. Because like East St. Louis, they're ones that I mean, they make that trip just as much as everyone. And again, obviously finances, it depends, but they have a very active booster club. They raise quite a bit of money. So if they're able to pull it off, they prefer staying overnight.
Right. East St. Louis is a team that plays national teams. So they're used to doing this stuff. When you have a regular team that's not used to that stuff, I wouldn't want those headaches. I agree with Luke.
And then there's guys like we've actually talked to Tim Doherty, longtime coach down at Edwardsville.
Right.
he was a guy that insisted on playing on Friday. He didn't care how far he had to go. They were playing on Friday.
That's true. Yes.
And it worked for them because they were very good on those Friday games when they come up to Chicago more often than not. They ended up winning the game. It didn't bother them at all.
No.
So
no, not at all.
Found it interesting for sure. Joe, let's go through again. We talked a little bit about Providence and Hillcrest. The final game we didn't cover in 5A. I just like Providence where they're at here right now. I think, again, Hillcrest has some speed. I think it's Gary Bradley, Hillcrest quarterback's very, very solid, real multi-threat run pass guy. And again, could definitely give the Providence defense a little bit of issue, but I think Providence gets the win and they advance.
And
it's a nice one to get because you're about 5-6 miles maybe from one door to the other.
It's not easy to get to Hillcrest, though.
No, it's not because it's 80.
But you're right. As the crow flies, it might be 20 minutes, but I don't think they're flying by crow. But
no, that crow would get shot down over 80 the way things have been on 80. So how was that commute tonight on 80, folks? Is that fun? Were you trying to go east? Yeah, good luck. You're probably still sitting out there trying to get through.
I can't even tell you the way I got from New Lenox to get to here. But if Providence, if they stay away from penalties and mistakes and turnovers, they're gonna win this game.
Yeah, I agree. We talked about Byron at Piatone. Good luck to Tully and the Blue Devils in that ball game. Joe, Coal City at Rochester. And again, I think we're doing what everyone else does, and we're just assuming Rochester's going to roll them.
I don't know.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you.
No, I mean, I think the formula that Tully talked about against Byron, Coal City has a very good running back. And if they can find a way to
control the ball.
Just keep driving the football and don't fumble it. Don't make mistakes. And again, I like the defense that Coal City has. I think they got a puncher's chance. You just never know. You have to play the game. But, I know the odds or the points or whatever. We don't talk about point spreads here.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Someday maybe. I don't know.
I really think Coal City has a puncher's chance. I really do.
I told you how I did in the first round, right?
Yes, you did.
Kind of good.
I did okay. You would have made a lot of money.
But you can't do that, Joe.
I know.
Not yet.
I'm sorry I said that.
I haven't launched that app yet, Joe. Again, that should be interesting. And again, another great game is going to be Wilmington and Tri-Valley. They don't like each other, Joe.
No, Tri-Valley beat them last year, I believe, on their way to the state championship game.
That is such a brutal side of the bracket. It is. Mr. Lang and I were talking extensively about that side of the bracket last night. It's just ridiculous.
I mean, whoever comes out of that upper north 2A bracket, hopefully they'll be somewhat healthy to play the championship.
That's the biggest concern, honestly.
That's you're slugging through that division.
All right, we're going to step aside and take a break. Don't go anywhere. After 7 o'clock ABC News, we will come back. We are going to have more guests for you. We will hear from Alan Thorson from Morris. We'll also hear from Dennis Piron from Batavia, previewing Batavia hosting Lincoln Way Central on Saturday afternoon. We'll take some phone calls. And, guys, there's already some open coaching positions across the state of Illinois. Some big names have stepped down. So we'll talk about that in the 7 o'clock hour. This is the Round 2 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News, Talk, Sports.
Official rules for WJOL AM 1340. No purchase is necessary. All contestants must be at least 18 years or older to participate unless specified in contest rules. All state and local, federal, and other taxes and other fees for prizes awarded are the sole responsibility of the winner. Prizes valued over $600 will be issued in the IRS 1099 form to report their winnings. All prizes are awarded as is. All entrants and winners agree that the station Alpha Media LLC and their affiliates shall have no liability and shall be held blameless for any injury, misfortune, or damage to any person or property insured by entering, participating in, winning, or losing any contest by use or non-use of any prize received. All entrants and winners agree that the station may broadcast or publish their name, city of residence, photo, videotape, film, or any other likeness, including their voice, recorded or live for any reason the station deems necessary without compensation. The radio station reserves the right to change the rules for any contest at any time without notice and limit the number of times an individual may enter a contest or drawing. The radio station will not be responsible for busy lines, disconnections, poor connections, computer malfunctions, lost, late, or misdirected emails, faxes, or mail, or any other circumstances. Get a full list of rules at WJOL.com.
Your home for Will County's news, talk, and sports. We're 1340 WJOL.
The Armstrong and Getty Show poses the question.
Will you be informed
news of the day and the issues without being bored. We say yes, you can.
The Armstrong and Getty Show.
Not just boring, biased political talk. The Armstrong and Getty Show is entertaining, informative, with political commentary, observations on local, national, and international news, and reflections on social issues. Weekdays at 10 a.m. here on 1340 WJOL.
From the Abri Credit Union Studio, this is Will County's News Talk Sports, WJOL. Joliet.
From ABC News, I'm Daria Albinger. Sam Bankman-Fried has been found guilty on all charges in his fraud and conspiracy trial. The former cryptocurrency CEO sat down last year for an interview with ABC's George Stephanopoulos.
Look, I screwed up. I was CEO. I had a responsibility here. I had a responsibility to be on top of what was going on the exchange. I wish I had done much better at that.
The jury deliberated for a little more than 4 hours before reaching a verdict. Explosions late into the night in northern Gaza as Israel Defense Forces say they're making major advances. ABC's Inez de la Quatera in Jerusalem.
They say they have officially encircled Gaza City, which they say is the headquarters there of the Hamas operation. So again, this is the expanded ground operation in full swing. They also are continuing to relentlessly strike Gaza, with the IDF saying they have, since the beginning of the war, struck 12,000 targets.
The White House says 74 Americans got out of Gaza today. The House approved more than $14 billion in military aid for Israel, but it does not include aid for Ukraine. More than a dozen people were injured in a collapse and explosion at a multi-family building in Wappingers Falls, New York.
The injuries to the first responders are minor and smoke inhalation.
Police Commissioner Paul Italiano, former President Trump's son, testifying at their father's New York civil fraud trial. ABC's Aaron Katersky was in the courtroom.
The former president's eldest sons entering court together with a wave and a thumbs up. On the witness stand, Donald Trump Jr. and his brother Eric both insisting, though they did run the family real estate business, they did not keep an eye on the bottom line and were unaware the documents they signed artificially inflated the value of their properties.
The judge has already found that Mr. Trump overvalued his assets to get better loans and deals. You're listening to ABC News.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. The IRS just rolled out a new program to help struggling taxpayers more easily resolve their tax problems. It's called the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, and it opens up powerful new options for people looking to get back on the right track with the IRS. And no one knows this program like the professionals at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution company. They've resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients and have the expertise and experience to help you. One easy call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries of wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Make today the beginning of your fresh start with the IRS. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief now for your free confidential consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The federal government must do more. That message from some of the nation's mayors.
Mayors from major American cities descended upon Washington, D.C. Thursday, seeking help from the Biden administration on a surge of migrants arriving to big cities. Denver Mayor Mike Johnston led the group, which also includes leaders from Chicago, Los Angeles, Houston, and New York, as migrants arriving in Denver have increased tenfold. One of the main requests from the group, allowing more migrants to work by changing authorization processes. They're also asking for $5 billion for shelter and services for migrants. Liz Landers, ABC News, Washington.
It's been a long and winding road to a new Beatles tune.
The highly anticipated song Now and Then, written by the late John Lennon and later developed by the other band members Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr, and the late George Harrison. The track was sourced from a Lennon vocal and piano demo recorded in the late 70s. State-of-the-art audio recovery technology was used to isolate his voice for the mix. It's being released as a double A-side, along with the band's debut single, Love Me Do. Tom Rivers, ABC News, London.
The Biden administration is awarding $334 million in grants to help police agencies hire more officers, address school security, and offer more training on de-escalation techniques. This is ABC News.
In business, everything your employees do impacts your brand, including what they wear. Cintas has high-performance workplace apparel for almost every job imaginable. From work shirts and pants, to polos and khakis, to Oxfords or T-shirts, these clothes move, breathe, and look great. Your team gets the styles they like, you convey the image you want. And Cintas service includes weekly laundry and delivery. To learn more, visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Daria Albinger, ABC News.
Let's be honest, insurance rates have skyrocketed over the last 18 months and none of us are happy. This is State Farm agent Kevin Malloy, and I feel the same pain you do when the bill comes in the mail. When times are at their worst, people are looking for someone they can trust. And with 5 consecutive years of being named the best of Will County in the insurance category, why not consider calling the Malloy Agency? 815-463-5800. Like a good neighbor, we are and will be there when you need us.
Hi, this is Scott Trout of Cordell & Cordell. If you're a dad who is facing divorce, there are extra layers of stress that may include stereotypes and assumptions. No two situations are the same. Our legal experience and dedication prepare us for whatever legal challenges we face together. You need a partner you can count on. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has represented men in divorce.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Springfield area attorneys. 2815 Old Jacksonville Road, Suite 103, Springfield, Illinois, 62704.
At Alpha Media, we are here to help you meet your future alumni with Alpha EDU. With our audience-first approach, it allows us to identify your educational institution's diverse cohorts. We are not guessing where they are. We know, utilizing multiple platforms along with unique strategies to obtain first-party data. We provide valuable impressions to your exact future students. Our omni-channel approach allows you to reach aspiring students throughout the application to student journey. Our Alpha EDU strategy uses your list of feeder high schools and collects the device IDs of not only the students, but of those who influence their decisions. This list is then uploaded into major platforms to connect your message directly to them at the right time. With our multiple strategy approach, we can reach any potential student you are looking for. Alpha Media wants to provide an easy partnership from campaign development and optimization to implementation and reporting. Find out how Alpha can be an extension of your team. Go to alphamediadigital.com to learn more about Alpha EDU.
Will County Seniors, a nonprofit organization serving senior citizens and their families, has provided resources and programming to senior citizens in the county since 1966. Through a variety of activities and support services, Will County Seniors helps adults over 55 maintain their independent, active lifestyle. As our community has grown over the decades, so have our services to the families of seniors. The next phase of Will County Seniors will be the opening of the Ovation Center in Romeoville. The over 100,000 square foot Ovation Center will serve as a gathering place for seniors and a place where seniors and their families can go for valuable services. Leasing offices within the Ovation Center provide an ideal opportunity for businesses or service organizations that work with seniors and their families, such as medical offices or massage therapy, or professional services including legal, financial, and insurance services. For more information about leasing space for your growing business in the Ovation Center, visit theovationcenter.org. That's theovationcenter.org.
Your official home for Joliet and Will County sports is 1340 WJOL.
And welcome back again. This is the Round 2 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL. Will County's News Talk Sports, EDGYTIM, along with the coach Joe Rodriguero and Evan Bredesen. And, you know, guys, it's every show I come up with another genius idea. And I think, Joe, I just came up with one.
Okay.
The EDGYTIM line of greeting cards. Just my own gestures and welcomings and everything else. Yeah, Evan just showed me one.
And, you know, and it's
Evan shows me that one quite a bit. Evan's very good with the hand signals during the show.
I have a lot of pictures in my phone that could go well on a card.
Yes, very much so. My own phone as well. I cannot lie. Again, this edition, every edition of Pigskin Preview brought to you by State Farm agents John Wright in Joliet and Kevin Malloy in New Lenox. Like a good neighbor, Joe.
State Farm is there.
And our broadcast schedule is as follows: 6:05 tomorrow night, Friday Night Lights. Evan with the pregame show. We go out to Joliet East, Lincoln East. Well, that'd be real interesting.
would
We're out
really
to
be.
Joliet East. I
Where's
don't think
everybody-
anyone will
where's
be.
everybody
No one will
at?
be playing. We'll be out at Lincoln Way East as Coach Joe and Nick Jacobs bring you the play-by-play and color action of Manuka at Lincoln Way East. 6:30 kickoff, and then Saturday 1 o'clock and 5A Triad, however you want to say it, Joe.
Yep.
At Joliet Catholic at Joliet Memorial Stadium. And Joe, we are going to go out to the phone lines right now, and joined by a school and a coach that I think if he's done with this run, we can end up making them a Catholic school.
I think so too.
So joining us, the head coach from Mount Morris, Alan Thorson joins us. Hello, sir.
How you guys doing?
Good.
You know, I don't know if you noticed that or not, because I know it's always one game at a time. But you know, for us that can look ahead, you know, you got quite a run ahead of you here. It could, you know, like I said, you win that, and you know, we'd start calling you Mount Morris or St. Morris or something like that. But you know, we're kidding. But welcome aboard, friend. Great to have you back, and welcome to round 2.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. I don't know if I think it might have been on your message board or somebody. I saw they compared it to basically having to go through the Stations of the Cross at the Catholic. So, I think it's definitely a challenge, but I think we're up for it.
I think, I think you are too. That's
terrific.
awesome.
It is.
That's fantastic.
Awesome. Right.
Again, taking on Sacred Heart Griffin. I mean, you know, I'd say your community's excited. Your community gets excited for scrimmage games. So, you know, but you know, you think of the history and Sacred Heart, whether Ken Leonard's there or not, it's still the gold helmets. You're playing them, and Joe and I were talking about this off the air, but you know, Coach, they don't lose a whole lot of games at home.
No, I mean, I find it funny because I think I've heard some people say, you know, I hope Morris doesn't overlook these guys. You know, I can promise you from our standpoint that we are not overlooking anybody. This is a very good program. You know, in just my time, we have had some past history with them. Dating back to 2012, we beat them in the semis, and then 2019, they beat us in the first round. So there's some familiarity there, obviously, with us and them. But obviously, both those games were at our place. So going on the road, you know, defending state champs. I mean, there's a lot of things there that you know our kids are well aware.
In this area, and you hear keys, Joe, like babies and families stop them and take pictures. I'm kind of excited for this path, and how do you not fill into that noise and to really lock in? It's, again, do you ignore it? Do you talk to them about it? How do you approach it? Because you live here too.
Honestly,
you hear the talk. I guarantee you hear the talk.
Yeah, no, we hear it from everybody. I mean, I hear it probably on a daily basis from somebody in town, you know, whether it's excitement or, oh, we're sorry you got a bad draw. And I just kind of laugh at it. Because I don't really, there is a bad draw. I think it's really about matchups and how your team's playing at the time. And yeah, absolutely. I mean, you look on paper, this is probably, people could consider it a very bad draw. But for us, we addressed it. Honestly, the very first day we came in to film, to start breaking down Tinley Park film, I really just put it out in the open. And I said, here's the deal, guys. And I said, we might have to run the gauntlet here. But I said, you know, honestly, and you even mentioned it, the cliche of one game at a time. But I said, that's all we have to worry about. We worry about Tinley. Okay, we check. Now we're going to worry about Sacred Heart. and we've had no other talk about any other school other than Sacred Heart all week. And and we know who could be next and things like that. But our kids have really been locked in on this game because really, how can you ignore the fact that you are playing a defending state champ? So if you start looking ahead of them, it doesn't get much bigger than the current game we're in. So and going on the road and everything that it involves. So again, for us, we just feel like it's another opportunity to prove ourselves. That's kind of I've mentioned that I think on the air with you guys before. That's kind of almost been the theme of this team. And it started even with that Richmond Burton game, the Sycamore game. And now it's just like, hey, here we go. Another chance to prove ourselves. And these kids have really embraced that. And I'm excited to see kind of really how it pans out because I really think this group's up for this challenge.
Alan, both teams, again, I know you guys better living in this area, but tremendous traditions at both schools. And you've talked about that. And Edgy's talked about that. And I don't think your kids will even blink at that stuff. It looks like just the way you're talking that they're focused on the next opponent, and you're going to do what Morris does, and you're going to go down there and get yourself a victory because your kids aren't going to blink at the fact that Sacred Heart Griffin, and yeah, they are the defending 5A state champions, but it is a different team. They're kind of on a roll a little bit, even though they got beat by Rochester in week 9. But you guys are going to go down there and just take care of business.
Yeah, no, our kids really, like I said, all year, that's probably the biggest compliment I can give this group is just every week they stay focused, they get locked in. Doesn't matter the opponent, doesn't matter if the games might be coming up. And like I said, nothing but respect on our end for Sacred Heart, for knowing exactly what they are. They're a great program, some really talented kids. We went and watched them in person against TF North. There's some players on that team. They've got a good quarterback, a good wide receiver, some really good defenders. There's like I said, there's absolutely nothing to overlook on our end. So there's the respect is always there. Our kids, I just don't think they buy into the hype. They truly believe themselves, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. They know this is a good
100%.
team. They know this is a good team, but they know we're a good team too. So they're going to go down there and give them their absolute best. And I think if we do that, we feel like we can come out on top. But yeah, it's always going to be a challenge. Anytime you hit week 2 and beyond in the playoffs, you're playing good teams.
Are there differences with this new Sacred Heart with John Allison as head coach? Obviously Allison was a coordinator for Kenny, but I know some of the assistants change. Have you seen differences in this team, or is it maybe just on a very broad scale, kind of very similar to the years past?
We obviously haven't seen them probably since 2019. But I think they're very similar. They're obviously well coached. You can see that on film. We saw that in person. The offensive style is very similar as well. And really even defensively, what we've seen in the past and kind of what we remember and what we've scouted. I don't think there's going to be too many steps backwards. Obviously, Coach Leonard was as good as there can be in the state. Tons of respect for him as well. So, when anytime you lose a guy like that, it's tough. But when you replace it with somebody that's been on staff, I don't think they're missing much there. So, again, we're not expecting a poorly coached game or anything like that. We know we're going to get their absolute best. I think even from their end, we've talked about that this week. That those sort of things they're telling their kids. People are doubting us, and we have a new coach, and people are maybe doubting that we lost all these guys from the state team. So I think they have something to prove as well. So I think this is really kind of building up to be a really good game and a good matchup between two really good teams.
Al, is there somebody on your schedule that kind of mirrors them?
Maybe Keeneland from an offensive standpoint.
A bit more throw.
A spread team, like to throw the ball, but they're going to run the ball. They're going to run their quarterback as well. They really run a lot of formations. They give you a lot of sets and try to kind of get you in a bad position, find what's working best for them, and exploit you. So a lot of that. Even a Sycamore is kind of unique because they run the double wing, but they also run spread sets. So I think we've seen a lot of that this year. We feel, our schedule's prepared us for this, but obviously it's a different personnel and things like that. So, that would probably be my closest comparison.
Yeah. And again, you mentioned 19 since the last time you saw them. So I'm going to imagine you haven't seen their on-campus facility.
Yeah, I've never actually, for as many different facilities, schools I've been to, I've never been to the Sacred Heart.
Yeah, they did a really nice job. It was one of the smartest things they've done, and again, it's self-contained. It's on their campus, and they did a really nice job. So I think your fans will enjoy it. I mean, again, not huge visiting areas to step. Have like a great.
Job of it. You could tell those fans are right on top. You look in the end zones. We've even talked to our kids about that. It's just we're experiment. I think it.
Should be a great game, Joe.
Yeah, I really like the Morris.
I think
team.
this Morris team's pretty good. We're going to find out Saturday. I think this is a good team, though.
And it's the same thing when you get two teams like this playing, and even if it gets down the road with the other teams, turnovers and mistakes are going to cost you.
See, again, I can work my way around Morris and here to Scuttlebutt. And unlike you, I mean, you have security with you when you go to Walmart. And you've got you and Deb are dealing that celebrity lifestyle you guys lead. It's rough.
Yeah,
it's rough.
Security.
All right, we're going to step aside and take a break. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, another high-level coach, Dennis Piron from Batavia, will join us. We'll talk Bulldog football, kind of give you a little insight to what Batavia offers Lincoln Way Central on Saturday. And don't go anywhere. This is the round 2 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News, Talk, Sports.
Are you looking to store your precious toy indoor this season? Store your boats, RVs, motorhomes, cars, trucks, trailers, and more with secure indoor storage and concrete floors right in Joliet. For more information, call Karen today at 815-549-6725 and ask about early bird specials of only $7 per foot while inventory lasts. 815-549-6725. Again, call Karen at 815-549-6725.
Now's the perfect time to get rid of that junk car. Joliet U-Pull-It wants it and will offer you free same-day pickup and the highest price in the area guaranteed. Plus, they're paying top dollar for all of your scrap metal. Come dig into Joliet U-Pull-It's expanded yard with over 1,300 foreign and domestic vehicles to choose from and no entry fee. Get parts, get paid, or get both at Joliet U-Pull-It, located 3/4 of a mile west of Briggs Street on Washington, next to the railroad tracks, or go to JolietUPullIt.com. Joliet U-Pull-It, the way to save.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now. I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code STRONG for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code STRONG for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code STRONG.
Wheelchairs for Warriors serves those who served us. We provide custom-fit wheelchairs for veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. When they are denied the services they deserve, we stand in the gap. To join the mission and support America's heroes, you can visit our website at wheelchairsforwarriors.org. We are a 501c3 organization and part of the combined federal campaign. Visit wheelchairsforwarriors.org EDGYTIMandCoachJoe.org.
Exergen thermometers are proven to be more accurate than non-contact thermometers. With children back at school, keeping them healthy is important. Clinical studies have proven that non-contact thermometers are inaccurate and can miss fevers. Accuracy matters. That's why the Exergen thermometer is trusted and used by medical professionals. Exergen thermometers are available at Walmart and other participating retailers. Choose a trusted and accurate thermometer for personal use. Learn more about why accuracy matters at Exergen.com.
Your official home for Joliet and Will County sports is 1340 WJOL.
And welcome back. It is the round 2 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports. EDGYTIM along with the coach, Joe Rodegaro and Evan Bredesen on spinning the dials and picking up the phones. And Coach Joe?
Yes, sir.
Going to welcome in a new coach to Pigskin Preview. He is the veteran head coach of your Batavia Bulldogs. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Coach Dennis Piron. Coach, appreciate you taking time to join us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, another playoff round, and here comes another Lincoln Way.
Yeah, we've played a bunch of them over the years, and recently, we had a number of games with Lincoln Way East down that area, hotbed of football down all around there that we're very familiar with over the years. And glad we're hosting at home this week. That's always a nice thing to get another home game. They're a heck of a football team. They look very good.
Coach, as you mentioned, you played Lincoln Way East, you played down here. Do you see a lot of similarities with Lincoln Way Central and Lincoln Way East, the way they run things?
I guess what I would say from a football standpoint of viewing the games is just, energy, hustle. That means there's a lot of accountability going on at, that school right now. You see people flying to the football. Everybody looks like they're on the same page. Simple stuff like, when receivers come off the ball, they come off the ball full speed on run or pass. Just all of the little detail stuff you'd expect to see from a very well-coached team and a team that's, got the record that they do and has beat a lot of quality football teams this year.
You mentioned getting another home game. This is something we've thrown around here for a long time and talked about. And I want to throw it at you and get your thoughts.
Sure.
How would you feel about having a choice in that first round? Because obviously you know how the home game system is decided here. Obviously you're almost in a better position not having a home game. Would that be something you'd be interested in as a coach?
Yeah, I think I don't know, it feels like there should be a little bit more of a reward
right,
for having done the work in the regular season. And that the seeding is not a true seeding. It's a mathematical setup, so you can say you've seeded it. But, I would think there'd be something to that. I mean, you could also just let the higher seeds host. I wouldn't have a problem with that either. But, if you're going to, put it to something like that, it wouldn't be too bad. I feel like, Eddie, we've gone against an awful lot of tough teams in the playoffs on their fields in the later round with us as the higher seed. I'm always for any change that gives you a little bit of a reward for having had a really excellent regular season. Absolutely.
I agree.
Yeah.
Coach, talk about your quarterback, Ryan Bowe. He's looking at your statistics, over 2,000 yards, 21 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I know he's at least a 2-year starter, maybe 3. How has his game changed this year from the past?
I would just say, like any high school kid, the maturity you get from one year to the next has been phenomenal. But I think the real difference with Ryan is just the amount of time and effort he personally put upon himself into this season, coming into this year. He spent an awful lot of time with Sean Anderson, our quarterback's coach, watching film from last season, spent time working on his game. He hadn't thrown as much in the offseason as he did this year. He's a leader of our weight room. We have a lot of guys work their butts off, but he's one of the strongest, most athletic kids in our school. And he just, as a team captain and leader, did such a great job leading everybody in the off season. He's a multiple sport kid. Our baseball team had a great year. He was one of the leaders there as well. But he always found time to spin the ball and found time to work, with his buddies. And, I think that it's grown. We thought he was excellent last year. We thought he was great as a sophomore. So this is his third year. He's played an awful lot of high school football games for us now. I mean, I don't know, we're approaching 40 and at the varsity level. And he, I think his stats are over 5,000 yards, 50 touchdowns, he's run for 20 more. I mean, he's been a incredible player and leader and really person. He's just such a great kid, just humble, fun to be around, kind, I mean, you couldn't ask for better. Just a great kid.
He's a dude. I mean,
he's a dude, yeah.
I mean,
he's a dude.
He is a dude. Yeah. You look at him and, again, already verbally committed to North Dakota State. And Joe, you take a look at some of those North Dakota States. We had one here in Steve Walker back in the day. And that's Ryan Bowe. I mean, Ryan Bowe is what, coach? 6'2", 6'3", about 200 pounds, and the kid's strong. He's athletic. Dennis, he's the ideal typical North Dakota State prototype at quarterback.
Yeah, and, we think, just me talking, Edge, he's the best quarterback that you'll see in our state this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to argue. It's hard to argue.
Yeah, he's special, but just the type of person that he is, our whole senior class, the way they've kind of grown. We were looking at films from when they were freshmen a little while ago and remembering what it was like for those guys. That was COVID times, and all the work they did at their houses and in their yards and doing videos with Coach Stereo and stuff. And I just, I mean, how he's grown and what he's turned into has been phenomenal. And all the other kids have, really grown up with him. And he's got all of his buddies that he's throwing the ball to and handing the ball to. And, they're all Bulldogs through and through. It's a really, this is a really special team.
And what people need to understand, and we try to express this about Batavia, it is truly a football community. I mean, it is, obviously it started with Mike Gaspari, and then you took over and just took it and ran with it and took it to a completely different level. But Coach, it starts with that community and that community support, and they love football. And I tell the fans out here, you got to go to this game because you're going to be in for one heck of a high school football experience at Batavia. I don't care if it's 7 o'clock. I don't care. It's 1 o'clock. Your community is going to come out and support, and it's going to be just an amazing atmosphere.
Yeah, it's always a nice buzz. And I think a big part of it is that when you're a kid growing up, you see the players all the time because they are out in the community doing things, doing things that matter for our town, whether it's helping with our youth programs or doing, some type of community service and doing, I guess whatever it is. But we've got a lot of in-house stuff that we built. Our youth flag and touch program, it's been around forever, which, wasn't really had anything in mind other than just to kids to have fun playing football. And it really has been a huge thing for us. We have lots of young kids that play football, at our grade schools in Batavia on Friday, kids wear football jerseys. And that's old fashioned, right?
Yeah.
And it's a neat thing. So you go by a playground, you see it. You teach in the school, you see it. And the kids love it. They have a ball with it. They enjoy being, I guess you'd say it, role models for the young Bulldogs.
100%.
And they enjoy the interaction, and it's authentic. It's not forced. It isn't something that they, oh God, coach is making us do this. I mean, they love doing it, and when you see them interacting and involved with kids, where I think a lot of high school kids might go, "Oh man, this is a joke." They don't even care. They think it's fun, and they laugh the whole way through.
Yeah, no doubt. There's lots of things that you've got going on there. I love the teacher appreciation where your players present a jersey to their favorite teacher. That's awesome, and you guys do a great job on social media capturing that and putting it out there. It's stuff like that, Coach, that I think really sets you apart. Yeah, the teachers don't like wearing them all that much. Those jerseys sure are tight nowadays. but they appreciate it. Yes, they do. And again, there's a lot of good ideas, that we've gotten from people over the years.
many years ago, there was a dance coach who gave me all these ideas from St. Charles East, Carrie Backa. And she goes, you should do all these things. I go, Carrie, we got to coach football. She goes, you'll see. She'll go, they all matter. They're fun. And the boys will like them, but the people in the community will like them. So, you know, I call them shenanigans. You know, we do a lot of shenanigans, but I don't know, they're fun for us. And maybe things that other people don't think matter, you know, but, you know, we make it a point to try to get together a lot as a team doing non-football things that are just, you know, eating food, doing a movie, you know, helping somebody move, I don't know, goofing around. You know, we usually do, like, in the playoffs, like a lot of teams, we get together and we do, I don't know, funny nights, you know, like Vegas night. We do like an old fashioned, you know, everybody gets dressed up like they're going to Vegas, and we give away old T-shirts that we have laying back in the cobwebs, and you know, have prizes, and so I don't know, whatever. We just,
it's a good time.
We like to be we like to be together and have a good time. Coach Holm and I and stuff. You know, we use the word love a lot, and I think if we establish that brotherhood and that something you want to belong to as a player and as a parent, you want your son to belong to, I think in the end, maybe we can slow these guys down for 3 to 4 years in high school and give them an experience that, you know, was fun, and, you know, take them on to, you know, the next level, you know, when they're gone from us. You know, not playing sports again, just get them through a tough time in life. And I think all of us, this senior class, especially the juniors, and our coaches, you know, those couple of years ago really went through a really, you know, tough time together. And this group, we were just talking about it a lot tonight, you know, all the things that we did and the stuff we did, the videos that kids worked out to, you know, 5 kids in a group, 10 kids. God, I could never do it again. I couldn't, you know, nobody could, right? Nobody could do again. The amount of organization. I worked 5 years in a year, it felt like, effort-wise. And, but it was worth it. It was 100% worth it. And in the end, still fun, you know, because you were together with the kids that you were, you know, had seen for your whole lives in Batavia. So it's neat. It's a neat town, Edgy, you know that. And I'm really, really lucky to be here with the wonderful coaches that I've been with for so long. We got a nice little thing going here, and, you know, and we get the honor of hosting, you know, a really special team. It's a great story with tons of energy and juice in Lincoln Way Central. It's well coached with a coach who's got his kids believing. You could see it. You could see when, you know, you've got that I believe in you mentality. That's how their kids are playing right now. So, you know, we know what we're in for. It's going to be a heck of a game, and they're going to come ready to go and loose with nothing to lose is the way they look to me. And they're exciting as heck.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And that game is Saturday, 1:00 in Batavia. Boy, get there early. It's about the best thing I can tell you, Coach. I don't know if you sell these games out, but I'm sure you come awfully close every week.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, it's fun.
All right, my friend. Appreciate you taking time and joining us. And well, I wish you the best of luck. I don't know.
Good luck,
I bite my tongue on that one a little bit, but you know, I never have nothing but good things about you, my friend.
Thank you. And thanks a lot for having me on tonight. Appreciate it.
You got it. Dennis Piron joins us from Batavia. And again, yeah, just Joe, it's a different deal there. It is.
Yeah, the atmosphere is tremendous there. Yeah. And yeah, it's you know, we talk about atmospheres in our area at some of the places that, you know, I've been going to.
That program could fit in very well over here.
That Batavia could fit in well right down in here for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And he's done a tremendous job. And, you know, to be able to reload a public school, being able to reload and stay at that level. And I'm telling you, they obviously got to get by Lincoln Way Central, but you know who they're eyeing, and I know who they're eyeing, and that'll wind up being a semifinal game, and that's who they want. There's no doubt.
I know.
There's no doubt about it. When we're talking about Mount Carmel, that's who they want. They want to get them after the last couple of years. So, and they're capable, just like the last couple of years. I mean, it's come down. I mean, their only loss this year was a missed 2-point conversion to Lincoln Way East. Otherwise, they're undefeated if they win that game.
And I know Ryan Bowles is a tremendous quarterback and coach, but just going through their stats this week.
They're balanced. Yeah, Wepley does a great job.
4 running backs of 400 yards or more. They got 5 receivers with at least 250 yards or more. And
defensively, they're very good. His linebackers every year, it's kind of like their calling card, too, is linebacker play. And that's why when they go against East, it's such a matchup because defensively, it's kind of the same mentality that East has, what these guys have at Batavia.
Right.
So it's a formidable program, but they're well aware, Central. They're well aware of the progress that they've made. And again, believe me, there's a lot of respect there. So again, thanks to Dennis for joining us. Great guy. And again, one of the many coaches I've been blessed to know for a while now. So again, always there when you need them. So
And I love when we get the coaches at this time of the year. You know, the other coach.
Yeah.
To talk about
yeah,
their
I love it.
program and their
I love
team.
it
Yeah.
because you know what? And I love giving our guys a week off. You know what I mean? I hate hammering them every week. Some of them want to do it. It's superstition. It's like, hey, I'm not messing with you. We've told guys we'll call them on Thanksgiving if it makes them feel better.
That's right.
All right, we'll step aside and take a break. When we come back, we're going to have open phone lines. So if you want to talk about anything playoff related, we'll talk about some head coach openings that have popped up recently. We'll break down some other things. You are listening to the Round 2 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News, Talk, Sports.
Hi, this is State Farm Agent John Wright. Every team knows the 2-point play can be a winning move. That's why I can help you go for 2 by combining your home and auto insurance. It's a great call that saves you time and money. So go for the win and score savings by combining your home and auto with me, State Farm Agent John Wright. It's just another way we're here to help life go right. Call me, John Wright, at 815-725-5052 today.
Are you or a loved one struggling with failing health or a tough diagnosis? Lightways is here to help. For more than 40 years, Lightways Hospice and Serious Illness Care has provided unwavering guidance and support for thousands of Will and Grundy County families. We pride ourselves on supporting the patient and the family. We're a team of experienced providers who help manage any symptom you're experiencing. Our goal is for our patients to remain in their home where they feel the most comfortable. My name is Annette McNamara, and I'm the Director of Admissions here at Lightways. My team is ready to meet you and get you the help that you need, but more importantly, the help that you deserve. Please call me at 815-740-4104. Through darkness, we bring light. Lightways.org.
You've heard all the ads. You keep putting it off. Make today the day you call Advantage Driver Training and change your career. 4 short weeks from now, you can have your CDL driver's license and a whole new job when you call Advantage Driver Training today. You've heard all the advantages of getting your CDL truck driver's license from Advantage Driver Training, like choosing from day or evening classes taught by experienced truck drivers with small class sizes in a Secretary of State approved CDL school. This is a whole new career in 4 short weeks with one low, all-inclusive price and no hidden costs. Not all driver training schools are the same. So do your homework and take advantage of Advantage Driver Training's huge new facility for your future. The opportunities are better than ever before. So let's get this CDL career thing done this fall. Call Advantage Driver Training today or go online, advantage-drivertraining.com. Advantage Driver Training, going the extra mile for you.
I'm freezing, and that thing's making weird noises. We need a new furnace.
I know. I'm calling Roscoe's Heating and Cooling. Pete at work, he just had him out.
What's so great about Roscoe's? You know, we can call my friend's cousin's husband, Mike.
As tempting as that sounds, Pete was telling me how they helped his grandma with her furnace. And she was so happy with their work that she made them cookies. They even posted about it. Plus, he said they gave her different pricing options, different energy options, even financing options. So, Grandma got to decide what features are important to her. Nice approach, I thought.
That does sound better than my friend's cousin's husband, Mike.
Yep. Well, I'm calling Roscoe's today. Pete said that this is the last chance to get this year's pricing, so they really took care of him.
Call or log on to rossculps.com, ROUSCULPS.com, ROUSCULPS.com.
Your official home for Joliet and Will County sports is 1340 WJOL.
And welcome back. It is the Round 2 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL. Will County's News Talk Sports, EDGYTIM, along with the coach, Joe Rodriguero and Evan Bredesen. And Joe, this edition, every edition of Pigskin Preview brought to you by State Farm agents Kevin Malloy and New Lennox and John Wright and Joliet. Like a good neighbor, Joe.
State Farm is there.
Our broadcast schedule is as follows. Tomorrow, 6:05, Friday Night Lights. Evan Bredesen will get his pregame show in before setting it out to Lincoln Way East as the Griffins host your Manuka Indians in Class 8A action. That is a 6:30 kickoff. You can hear that game right here on 1340 WJOL, WJOL, and WJOL on the Odyssey app. I'm a big fan of that app, boys. Tell you what, Friday night, I hear my boy Evan crystal clear. And sometimes you too, Coach Joe.
Okay.
Well, it depends when I get in the car and
That's
when
true.
my game's over and what have you. I will be out at lovely Maine South tomorrow because, well, let's face it, I just miss driving through war zones. It's kind of what I like to do.
Oh, 294, you got to love it.
Yeah. I was carpet bombed pretty heavily in the war. I don't know when the war was, but obviously the remnants of the bombings on 294. Want to go over a couple of things. By the way, phone lines are open, 815-254-7300. Our friend Weather on the Go kind of brought up the home field issue, which to this day continues to be an issue. People continue to want to talk about it. And so we'll talk about it. So what we're talking about is what is used to determine who gets to host a home game. Right now, the simple way to remember it, folks, is a team that has hosted the least amount of home games will get the home game. Fair? Yes?
Yes.
Short, simple?
Yes.
Okay. My thoughts on that, and Joe, I know you have thoughts on it. My thoughts are, I think that's kind of a rule that maybe is starting to be a little bit old and stale because now granted, in the smaller classes, it's different. There hasn't been quite a influx of artificial surface fields yet. But guys, 4A, 5A, and above, there's a lot of facilities now, high school facilities with artificial turf. And, so the whole concern about grass fields and getting beat up, they're legitimate concerns. There's no doubt, because we're already seeing it this week in the smaller classes where some fields got really beat up from the weather from last Friday. I just think it's almost getting to the point where most of these teams either have their own artificial surface or relatively nearby a school with artificial surface. I don't know, guys. Your thoughts? I mean, Evan, love your thoughts, and Joe, you too. And by the way, 815-254-7300. If you want to add to that, we'd love to hear from you.
Well, I kind of agree somewhat with Weather on the Go, but I also say I think that every team that makes the playoffs, if they win, they deserve at least one home game. So, for example, Providence is on the road this week.
Right.
If they deserve
They're on the
a
road
home
last
game if they
week.
win. They deserve it. But I think once you get to the quarterfinals, semifinals, I kind of agree with him.
All bets off and go with the higher seed.
The higher seed gets the home field
Fair.
advantage.
Evan?
I personally believe the higher seed should get home field throughout.
Okay.
My belief is
a lot of people feel that way.
My belief is you did your job.
You earned it.
You played 9 games. You went 9-0 or 8-1. And I'm sorry if another team went 5-4 or 6-3. Hey, you still got to the playoffs, but as a result of just barely getting in or just barely qualifying, you are now going to have to go on the road. And yeah, that's a lot to ask, but to me, the regular season exists for a reason.
And what we have learned already from round one is not all top seeds are created equal.
Correct.
No.
So your Peyton Preps of the world are going to get knocked out early, and then that's going to obviously change how much that seeding actually holds up. That's a whole other issue that people were ranting on. And it's like, I'm just tired of kicking the public league around. I mean,
to me, there's nothing you can do with that. If
No.
if a team in the public league goes 9-0, you can't tell them, well, we don't like your schedule and we think you're going to get blown out, so we're not going to give you the seeding you deserve, or we're not going to let you have the home game. They earned it.
What people need to understand is the city of Chicago is the largest city in the state of Illinois. They have the largest public school system in the state of Illinois. So hence, they're going to have the most representatives in the state playoffs. It's just how it is. Yes. And I think the public league has actually done a pretty decent job of kind of monitoring your better programs from your not better programs and trying. I mean, folks, if you think there's a lot now, they could open the floodgates and basically IHSA would have to find a way to let more of these teams in. They obviously have been working together a little bit here. I think the public league has put a pretty decent effort in, but still, there's a huge difference between the red division and the blue division. And, they've limited the amount of blue teams that are able to get in. Some people argue, well, they should all get in. If they all qualify, they should all get in. Well, this is the public league being selective and seeing what's happening. Can you imagine if they couldn't be selective? You think you got blowouts now. Wait till that would ever happen someday. And again, that's one of the arguments about letting everyone in. This is what's going to happen if you let everyone in.
Yes.
Is that you
I
think there's
agree.
some bad matchups now. Just wait when that happens.
Well, also, if that conversation pops up again, the let everyone in, the thing that concerns me is who are the people who are going to be making that call? Because going back to the COVID, when we had the issues with the COVID season, and my issue with it at the time was the people making the call. There wasn't a single person in the room who was a representative of or an advocate for high school athletics and the high school athlete. It was bureaucrats making a unilateral decision. Yep. And my fear is that if everyone gets in, there's not going to be anyone in the room with high school football experience to go, this isn't like just about letting everyone in. There's also health and safety issues you have to think about.
Yes.
There's travel concerns. There's costs. There's facility issues. Like this isn't a snap
100%.
your fingers. And my concern is that the decision is taken away from the people who know best, and it's people who don't know. And let's just be honest, more than likely don't care. They just want to affect change somewhere where they can affect it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Joe?
I definitely agree. I don't think everybody gets in. Because what Evan said as far as health of some teams are concerned, everybody cannot get in.
Yeah.
So they have to come up with some other type of formula.
All right, got a few minutes here. 815-254-7300. A little speed round for picks. You ready?
All right.
8A. Nico Valley at Loyola.
Oh, hold on. Let me get my bracket. Loyola.
Huntley at St. Ignatius.
Oh, boy. I'm going
to say Ignatius.
Me too.
Yeah, so am I.
Glenbard West at Edwardsville. That's a tough one.
I'm going to say Edwardsville.
I'm going to say Edwardsville, too.
Yeah, Glenbard West offensively still pretty challenged. It scares me a little bit. I would probably go with Edwardsville as well. York Lions, second time around for these two.
Yeah, York.
Yeah, I'm tempted there, but I'll stick with York. Manuka, Lincoln Way East.
I'm going to go Lincoln Way East.
I'm going to say East.
East. Warren at South Elgin.
I'm going to go Warren.
Go Warren.
I'm going to say Warren.
Yeah. Naperville Central Barrington. Very good game Saturday night, by the way. I might want to end up there if my schedule
It's a
allows.
really good Saturday night game.
Yeah.
You've seen Barrington. I'm going to
Very
go
good.
Barrington.
Yep.
I'm going to say Naperville Central. Just be
There
different.
There you go. The game I'm going to cover tomorrow night, Maine South hosting Belleville East. Hearing Belleville East, very athletic team.
I'm going to go with Maine South.
I'll say Maine South, but I think that could be a lot closer than people
That's
think.
why
it
I'm
could be.
going. That's why I'm going. 7A Bradley at Normal Community.
I think this is one of the key matchups.
Could be a really good game too. That's a little. That game scares me a little bit because it's Bradley.
Right.
And you know how Bradley can be as an underdog.
They're just going to be physical, and they're just going to grind that thing out.
Two good offenses, man.
Yeah.
That could be a good game. I will go with Normal Community, but I'm tempted to pick the upset.
I'm going to pick the upset.
Because we
I'll
had
pick
so
Bradley,
much.
too.
We had so much chalk in the first round. There's
I know.
got to be some upsets.
There's always some give at some point.
Yep. Glenbard East at Addison Trail. I like Glenbard East.
Now I'm going to pick East.
Yeah, I'm just going because of the record.
Yep. Another great game. Downers North at Hersey.
Oof.
I saw some highlights of Hersey. I'm going to pick them.
I'll pick Downers North.
Yeah, I think I'm going Downers North too. We'll see. Lincoln Way West at Collinsville. I told you, Joe, I like Lincoln Way West quite a bit here.
West.
Yes, I like West also.
Willowbrook at Rockton Hononegah, the pit of the Nick 10 conference. Can they get by a team not from the Nick 10 conference?
I'm going to pick Willowbrook here.
Did I lead you into that a little bit?
Yep.
Yeah, I
Leaning that way anyway.
It's not a great Willowbrook team either. That's what scares me a little bit. They're okay, but there's been better. I put it to you this way, Joe. There's no tumulties to be found with these Willowbrook teams. Okay.
I remember going up to Rockton Honega. We had a guy at Joliet Catholic. I think his name was Allstott.
Yeah, he was okay. He did all right for himself.
He ran all over them.
I bet. Probably still running.
He ran all over everyone.
Lincoln Way Central at Batavia, folks.
Boy, I'd love Lincoln Way Central to get this game, but Batavia's just too strong.
Batavia's too, especially at home. They're tough. Very tough.
Yeah, Batavia.
Quincy at Wheaton North. Again, another good game. I like Wheaton North for the upset.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah.
I like Wheaton North too.
Yeah. Prospect of Mount Carmel.
Mount Carmel.
Yeah. Not yet. Not yet. Don't go for that upset yet with the Caravan.
No.
I'll be honest. It's selfish on my part picking Mount Carmel. I just want Mount Carmel, Batavia, and round.
Yeah, so do I.
You and everybody else, I think.
Because there's very clearly, even going back to last year's playoff game, there's very clearly
yes,
something
I forgot
there
all about
between
that.
these two schools, and I kind of like when that exists.
Class 7A, Twix against Snickers.
Oh, Snickers.
Twix.
See, there we go. I'd go Snickers, but Twix might win on the losers bracket. So
found out how bad they are for you.
Oh, I know.
I
they're
love
horrible.
Snickers.
Wakanda at Belvedere North. Mr. Belvedere North. You like that? Oh, come on. I've done that before, haven't I?
You got me with that one. I can't. You got me with that one. I haven't heard a Mr. Belvedere reference in forever.
Oldie but a goodie.
Yep.
Lake Zurich, Canelan.
Oof.
Lake Zurich.
Yeah, Lake Zurich.
Too tough. As we said, Wakanda at Mr. Belvedere.
I'll say Wakanda.
I'll say Belvedere North.
Belvedere North. Geneva at Lake Forest. I like Geneva.
Geneva.
Cary Grove at Highland Park. I like Cary Grove.
Yes.
Cary.
Eisenhower at Kankakee. Again, I'm a little scared by this because I know if Lorenz Walters isn't playing their quarterback, and that score concerned me a little bit last week, Joe, but I will stick with the K's for at least one more round.
I'm going to go with them too.
I'll go with them, but that's one of those games where if Eisenhower jumps out to like a 10-0, 14-0 lead, that could be enough.
Because I'm hoping Kankakee wins and advances to play the winner of Normal West and East St. Louis.
Ooh.
That'd be a great game in the quarters. I'm going East St. Louis.
East St. Louis.
And they're at home. And they're at home. So Creed Monee at Washington can wind up being a very close game. I'm going to go Washington because this Creed team is just still a bit too young.
Washington is better than a lot of people think. They're really good.
Daryl Crouch is last year as coach, so they're playing for a coach there too.
Creed Monee.
Yeah. Glenwood at Richards.
I'm picking Richards.
Glenwood.
All right.
I'll say Glenwood.
5A real quick. Ready?
Yes.
St. Francis Sterling.
St. Francis.
Francis.
Yeah, I think Sterling makes it interesting, but Francis gets it. Sycamore at Morgan Park.
Sycamore.
Morgan Park.
Really?
Glenbard North at Naz.
Naz.
Damn Naz. Naz is going to beat him up.
Naz.
Antioch, at Antioch, the game that I'm going to cover Saturday afternoon. I'm really torn, honestly. I think
I'm
Carmel,
gonna pick Carmel.
but boy, Antioch has played them tough in the past too. So that's a really good game. I'm excited. Mike Maloney, AD up there at Antioch. Can I see my friend?
Get the VIP treatment.
Morris, Sacred Heart Griffin.
Morris.
Troy at, you like that, Joe? At Joliet Catholic.
The Hilltop.
Joliet Catholic.
Yep.
The Catholic. Pravi, Hillcrest. I like Pravi.
Yep.
Pravi.
Metamora Highland.
I'm going to go with
Metamora.
Yeah, me too. All right. We did pretty well there.
I wanted to ask you guys before we get out of here. We've got a couple minutes left. Your thoughts on Joliet West? I know the first round of the playoffs wasn't what we wanted the result to be, but Joe, I know you wanted to touch on this briefly before we got off the air.
I just want to congratulate Dan Tito. And
Yeah,
the
100%.
Tigers on their season. But I tell you what, the crowd was awesome. At game time, it was absolutely pouring. The stands were absolutely packed.
Awesome.
And it was a great atmosphere for those kids. Unfortunately, with the weather,
Did Ignatius draw it all or no?
somewhat, not very
That's
much.
that's a terrible drive on a Friday.
But I told you on Friday when I talked to you, their quarterback, Jack Wanzung, that kid's
Really
a
good.
stud.
Yeah.
He's really good.
Yeah. They could go a couple rounds here.
Yep.
They could go a couple.
They're really
St.
good.
Ignatius can go a couple rounds.
Yep.
Yeah, just Dan, it's a great building block moment.
Oh, yes.
It's
Baby
really
steps.
this offseason will be important because that's when you can get more of those underclassmen in the program and hopefully get them on board and say, hey, we got to this point. If you hop in, maybe we can take it from here to here.
Right.
it's a good opportunity for them to build up that program.
And
So
they didn't
again,
play that bad. I know the score wasn't. They only scored 7. They just couldn't get the running game going. They just could not get that running game going.
Yep, no doubt. All right, we're gonna wrap it up. Thanks everybody. We'll be back next week. This has been the Round 2 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
The Ramsey Show.